Welcome back. The issue of nuclear waste is polarizing a small Ontario town. The community is a prospective site for an underground facility to store spent nuclear fuel. Opponents accuse the organization behind the project of trying to bribe the town into accepting the waste. Colin Butler looks at the raging debate.
Everywhere you look in Teeswater, everyone seems to have an opinion on its future. And rightly so. This small town has a big decision whether or not to host the nation's nuclear waste.
We don't want South Bruce to become the ground zero for all of Canada's nuclear waste.
Michelle Stein is firmly in the no camp. She's with the citizens group Protect Our Waterways, No Nuclear Waste. She also runs a sheep and cattle farm on the edge of town. If a deep underground nuclear waste site were to be built here, it would be right next to her farm. Stein thinks the nuclear industry is taking advantage of Teeswater, paying for things like parks, playgrounds, firefighting equipment, even small-town doctors, grooming the community, she says, into becoming a willing host.
At the end of the day, the question is, why are they giving us this money? Is money ever completely free with no strings attached?
The municipality's March budget agenda listed the Nuclear Waste Management Organization, or NWMO, 121 times. All of it money from the agency for community projects. A recent report said the NWMO has given $3.2 million since 2012, a big investment in a community with an annual budget of about $12 million.
There's some people who see this money as a bribe. Do you see it that way?
Well, this money, as I said before, any large corporation that's going to come to a community donate money for different projects. No, I don't see this as a bribe.
Mayor Robert Buckle says taking the money does not come with commitment, and while the town could use the money, it'll be okay if it stops.
We are not dependent on this money.
This is downtown Teeswater. It's one of the many communities that make up the municipality of South Bruce. According to this pamphlet published by the municipality, South Bruce is on a downturn, it says. It hasn't happened overnight, but slowly and steadily, we are on a decline.
Teeswater isn't the only community getting this funding. So is Ignis, a town 2.5 hours northwest of Thunder Bay. Right now, the NWMO is drilling deep boreholes in both places, hoping to see if the geology of the ancient bedrock is right, to entomb some 3 million bundles of spent nuclear fuel half a kilometer below ground, or as deep as the CN Tower is tall.
It's really troubling to me that anybody would suggest that we're trying to buy the community's support. Nothing could be further from the truth.
The NWMO says the money is to build skills and infrastructure, and that the investment will stay in the community even if it says no.
There are no strings attached to that funding. That funding would remain in the community. And again, it's meant to invest in the long-term well-being of the community.
The group, Willing to Listen, was co-founded by Sheila Whittick. She says its members want to hear the NWMO out before making a decision.
We need to know all the information. We need to know what we're saying yes to, and we also need to know what we would be saying no to.
Nuclear power already provides 2/3 of Ontario's electricity. It also promises a carbon-free source of green power for generations to come. But more than half a century after Canada's first reactor, there is still no permanent disposal site in the country for the waste. It's why Whittick says there's a moral imperative to fix it.
Why should the next generation have to deal with a problem we created?
The debate that's fiercely divided this town will likely go on. The NWMO says it won't decide on a site until 2023. Construction won't begin for another decade after that. Colin Butler, CBC News, Teeswater, Ontario.